Check out Penthy Blog Official. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a clever crow. One summer, the crow was looking for food in the fields. Suddenly, it saw a pitcher. It hopped down and saw that the pitcher had some water in it. The crow wanted to drink that water, but the neck of the pitcher was too narrow and the crow's beak was too big. So the crow could neither hold the pitcher nor drink the water. The crow sat on the pitcher for a while, thinking hard. He told them to bring the old man to him. The old man explained to the king how he made his ropes and how he survived by eating the berries that grew around his hut. He also told the king that only strong and thin ropes were made from these berries. He showed them some berries and asked them to find out how they could use these berries to make ropes. From that day on, the king never bothered the old man again. The advisors were puzzled, but they didn't want to disappoint the king, so they started crushing the berries. After a while, they got a thick liquid. Then they started boiling the liquid. They kept boiling it until it turned into a thick paste. Finally, when it was cool, they pulled the string. To their surprise, it was a strong and thin rope. The king asked the old man why he didn't want to give him food. The shoemaker was scared, but he didn't want to disappoint the king, so he started working on the shoes immediately. One day, the king went to a tailor and asked him to make a special coat for him. The tailor was scared, but he didn't want to disappoint the king, so he started working on the coat immediately. The old man replied, "Your Highness, I have no food to spare because I need every bit of food to make ropes and sustain my life." One night, the tailor's wife saw the coat. She told her husband that the coat looked very beautiful. The tailor begged for forgiveness, saying that it was his wife who made the coat. She was scared, but she didn't want her husband to be put to death, so she started working on the coat immediately. The king agreed to forgive him if his wife could make a similar coat for him. The king was very happy to see the beautiful coat. He forgave the tailor and his wife and granted them noble status in the kingdom. The king was furious. He ordered the woman to be put to death. The woman begged for forgiveness, saying that it was her husband who had made the coat for her. The king agreed to forgive her if her husband could make a similar coat for him, and asked him to make a similar coat for her. The tailor agreed. Early in the morning, merchants passing by would buy the shoes and take them to the market to sell. The shoemaker became very rich this way. You wouldn't understand. They took him to the king and said, "You are a clever man." The king was pleased and asked the shoemaker to make some more pairs of shoes for him. The shoemaker agreed. "Make me some special shoes." The shoemaker was scared. He didn't want to disappoint the king, so he started working on the shoes immediately. Then it started taking small pebbles and dropping them into the pitcher one by one. His kingdom was huge and he never had to worry about food or money. The king lived a very comfortable life. They brought the shoemaker to the king and asked him to make even better shoes than before. The shoemaker was scared, but he didn't want to disappoint the king, so he started working on the shoes immediately. On his way back to the kingdom, he saw a poor old man making rope. The shoemaker was exhausted, but he didn't complain. The king asked the old man if he could give him some food. The old man refused and told the king to go bother someone else. They could only hear his voice. The king was very happy. At first, the water level did not rise at all, but after some time, the water level began to rise slowly. But the king couldn't stop thinking about what the old man had said. That night, the king didn't eat anything and he spent tossing and turning in bed. The crow kept dropping pebbles until the water was high enough for it to drink. Then it drank all the water and flew away. Once upon a time, there was an arrogant king. He had everything he needed. One day, the king went hunting, but he returned empty-handed. The king was furious. He arrested the old man and threw him into prison. The old man refused, but the king insisted. So the old man had no option but to agree. Next morning, the king got up and called his advisors. The king was surprised. "What do you mean?" he asked. The king thought for a moment. Then he said, "You must teach me how to make these ropes so that I can make strong and thin ropes like you." The next day, the king called his advisors again. The king was overjoyed. Now he knew how to make good ropes and how to survive in the wild. Once a poor shoemaker had an idea. He would make shoes during the day and place them outside his shop at night. One day, the king's men came to the shoemaker's shop and arrested him. After a few days, the shoes were ready. They were soft and comfortable. But after a few days, the king sent his men to the shoemaker's shop again. This went on for a few weeks. Every time the king would ask for even better shoes than before. One day, the king asked the shoemaker to make a pair of shoes that could make him invisible. After a few days, the shoes were ready. The king put them on and walked out of the castle. People on the street couldn't see the king. From then on, the king would go out in public only to see how people reacted to his invisibility. Every day the tailor would work on the coat, but every night he would take it home to finish his work. The next day at the royal court, the queen entered wearing the same coat. The king was furious. He ordered the tailor to be put to death. The tailor went home and told his wife what had happened. The next day, the queen entered the court wearing the new coat. The tailor was scared, but he didn't want his wife to be killed, so he started working on the coat immediately. The moral of this story is necessity is the mother of invention.